person who tries to see, can see, likes to look at every situation as being able to be turned to the good or to the bad, depending on what sort of things are applied to the situation. So one of the things I see in videos and comments that people respond and comment on the internet is, well, that group has got something wrong with them, and that I have a right to hate them and have nothing to do with that group over there. And there are some groups you don't want to mess with. Not disagreeing with that. But when you point out at somebody else and say, there's something wrong with you, or I hate you, or I don't want anything to do with you, you should be pointing that finger back at yourself and looking at yourself. What is wrong with me? Am I a person that another person would want to get to know? And this relates to groups, to mags, to communities. It relates to marriages and just friendships and being an individual. Excuse me. I've met singular people who have decided they are going to be something as a person. And they were some of the most pleasant people I've interacted with. People who decided they will not just project themselves very strongly onto anyone, and people who have decided that the way they were projecting themselves on people in the past was not good. And so they have turned the camera to look at themselves and say, am I a nice person? Am I someone else would want to get to know? And I have decided personally I am not going to harm, and fill in the blank, another individual. Now this is totally separate concept from righteous judgment, because the Bible says the judge not lest you be judged is about your own faults that you're picking and guilty of right now and picking out of another person. Judge righteous judgment means take a look at an individual's fruit and decide for yourself whether they bear good fruit or bad. And if they bear bad fruit, you don't want to be involved with them. And that's a common sense thing too. But people ignore the Father, and so they're completely surprised and shocked when they get involved with a person who has decided they are not going to change from being wrong and evil, and then they get caught up in that and they're all surprised, like, what's going on? Well, when you latch yourself to someone who's doing evil unrepentantly, no fruit going to come from that. So all that, in my eyes, in my experience, is true. So then look at yourself as an individual. Because do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And it's apparent with some people, doing unto others, you want me to yell at you and scream at you and call you names and cause trouble in your life. That's what you're telling me. So let's flip that whole coin around. Wouldn't all of us like to have someone in their life who is constantly positive? Think about that for a minute. Someone who is always telling you, I like what you're doing, I have fun when I'm around you, here, let me share this thing with you that you and I will both enjoy, who tells you, I love spending time with you, I can't wait till I see you again, I admire everything about you, your intellect, your personality, your spiritual life, the way you dress, what you eat, I like it all. Wouldn't we all like to have somebody like that in our lives? And FYI, that's what a mom and dad, now there's always a flip side to that coin, that's what a mom and dad are supposed to be doing with their young ones when they're 1 to 7 years old, when you're forming who that person's going to be as an adult. You're supposed to be filling them with a sense of, I'm okay. And then showing them how to take that I'm okayness and sharing it with someone else. Because who doesn't want to have a friend? I remember being in school. It makes a huge difference if you have other people in the school who say those things to you on a daily basis. You're my friend. I like you. Let's do things together. Let me help you. I want to go, yeah, let's go to the movies, let's go to McDonald's or whatever. It makes a difference if you are the person who has other people like that in your life, or if you're the person who's being told you're unacceptable, you're ugly, you're stupid, I don't like you, you smell bad, etc. And I'm not saying I was perfect either. I'm not saying I'm perfect now. But what I am saying is, are you that person for someone else? Are you a person who tells somebody else, I like you, let's share, let's experience, let's have fun, everything about you makes me happy. That should be in your marriage too, again with caveats. Now the caveats for the parents and the marriage is, you have to draw lines at extremes. No, we can't cause our checkbook to go overbalance. No, we can't drive our car till it's on empty and then try to figure out what to do with it. In my opinion, you always want to make the smart choices. The wise man sees the danger and hides himself from it. The Proverbs tells us all about people who use their brains to avoid trouble. I don't think that's a bad thing. And so within your relationships, while you're teaching your child they're okay, they're loved, they're not respected, but they're loved, they're valued. And when I say not respected, it's a different relationship there. The child should respect the parent instruct the child. But if you're creating a little human being who feels those feelings, they will know how to share that with someone else. And then you also teach them and show them how to share that with someone else. How to befriend another child and then have like play dates and things where they can do things together, but with guidelines so that they're not beating each other with, the little toys. They're learning how to interact. I'm thinking dump trucks, and little Tonka toys if they were boys, They go out, they dig holes and create something and make something, not just pick the toys up and throw them and break them. That's not a good experience for them to share. So give it a think, contemplate, look at yourself. Are you a friend? Are you someone who is telling these things to someone else? And can you share those things? Because within a group, you want to be, I would want, in my group, everyone to be concerned about everyone else. Everyone to be positive with everyone else, everyone to be sharing positively. Like, this is how we start a fire, this is how we build a fence, this is how we chop down a tree safely, this is how we set up a mutual assistance group with another group. You have your understood acceptable behaviors and so on, and positive reinforcement and things. Are you one of those people? Because if you're one of those people who tells other people, I value you every single day, I think you're going to have friends. I do. All right. Bless you. Shalom.